Hello, hello, dear listener. This time we are finally back in Italy, near Milan precisely. Mr. Igor Guida, entrepreneur and very challenging person, is giving us his point of view as co founder of the cooperative Stripes and the head of Pedagogika.it, a scientific magazine. Let's listen to our friend and let's enjoy it.
Hi everyone, I'm Igor Guida. I'm one of the founder of Stripes Cooperativa Sociale in Italy, and it's a cooperative that at the moment is employing something like 700 people. And we work all around the world of education, especially starting from 0 to 6 years old. The 80% of the people more or less work around these ages, but also obviously with secondary school. And one of the things that we are working around is obviously artificial intelligence. And recently, I published in the magazine Pedagogika.it 3 articles and the articles were around the kind of difficult that we can face during our job. So, for example, one of the questions that often are asked to me is which should have been the role of artificial intelligence in education, and so which is my experience and around these kinds of questions that it's nowadays something that all of us more or less need to know. And in my view, artificial intelligence becomes truly meaningful in education when it is clearly understood as a tool and not as a substitute for teachers. So artificial intelligence can help with very concrete tasks. For example, to personalizing exercises if you have some guys that have some specific problem, or suggesting different kind of learning paths. And again, because we know that people are not the same, and the same is for our children. So another kind of example can be to giving a quick feedback on routine activities, for example, also for the teachers. When these repetitive tasks are partially automated, teachers regain time and energy for what only they can offer. And especially, for example, empathy, the real empathy, the listening, and the building of the trusting relationship with students. So the real value is not to have a really smart machines in the classroom, but to design a smart ecosystem where technology amplifies rather than replace the human presence of the educators. Another questions that someone asked to me was around the limit and the risk for digital youth. And I usually mention 3 main limits that are very relevant for digital youth. The first is that AI has no empathy. So it can process data, and he's really good to do this kind of job, to be honest, but it cannot really understand the emotion or the lived experience of a young person. And this is central in educational relationship. Second, there is the risk of technological dependence. If students use AI only as a shortcut, they may weaken their own creativity, critical thinking, especially, that it's something that we are working on a lot. If we think about the STEAM, for example, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics things, the coding and all those kind of movement that we saw in the last decades. And also the capacity to deal with complexity. The third, we must not forget the digital divide. Not all young people and not all schools have the same access to high quality tools and connections. And AI can unintentionally amplify existing inequalities. So any European initiative on digital youth, therefore, should combine, in my opinion, innovation with a strong attention to ethics, inclusion, and equal opportunities. Last but not least, skills and mindset for young Europeans. So, which skills and attitude should young European develop to have healthy and empowering relationship with artificial intelligence? I think the first skill is awareness. Young people should know that every AI system is built on data, models, and human choices. So its answers are never neutral or magical. The second skill is critical thinking. I already said these things before, but I do believe it's the truth. So learning to questions the output of AI, to compare different sources, and to decide when it is better to ask a human being instead of an algorithm. Then there is creativity, using AI not only to consume content faster, but to design new projects, social initiative, and entrepreneurial ideas that respond to real needs in their communities. Finally, I would say a collaborative mindset. When youth, teachers, family, and institution learn together how to use artificial intelligence responsibly, we move from a narrative of fear to a culture of shared experimentation and co-design. This is exactly the kind of cultural change that European project on digital youth can foster in the next years. For having me, and hope to see you around in the web.